And okay, reverting back, Broderick got shot in the hip and the head. He was on that substance that I didn't know that he was on, because it was unheard of. Even though I used to smell it or whatever, I always knew that foolish activities and we used to call them crash dummies, wet heads. Nothing good was associated with that. So
yeah.
When he got shot, that was the drug that he was on. And one day I was hustling. I used to keep probably like 5 different things, and that was one of them. And one day a associate of mine, he told me to tap it, that it wasn't going to affect me. And when I tapped it, it was like being on training day when Denzel Washington's in the car with that guy and he got the hallucinating or whatever. But I went in the house and I wrote one of the hardest raps ever. And I wrote it so fast, it was like I was in some type of zone. I was like, man, I didn't make it a habit, but every now and then I would go tap it to go in my zone. And I was telling somebody about that the other day. When a rapper go on stage, when a rapper go perform in the industry, there is some type of thing that the rapper use to tap into their mode that will cure their fear.
Yeah.
That will cure their fear and give them some type of boldness. When I done that PCP, it was that thing. Some people have other things. Some people, sip their drink. Some people smoke their green. Some people do their dip. But Houston culture has always been affected by drink, and PCP, things of these natures. And it got a hold of me. And then so that was the thing that affected me, and I became my brother. I was considered a player, being that I would rather be in a player mind frame, because Kiki was one of the rappers I used to listen to. So I was more like, I wanted to be player. And when old school told me hustlers hang with hustlers, robbers hang with robbers, I was more so of a hustler. But when I smoked that dip, for some reason my gangsterisms kicked in, and it showed in my music too.
Man, what was one of the first bad experience that you had using?
One of the bad experiences that I had using PCP was when I was going to do a picture shoot with Chameleon. Now, he didn't know that I had smoked dip, and I didn't know the side effects, but I would flip out. And it's sad for a young 24-year-old, because I didn't smoke cigarettes, I didn't do none of that. But after I started smoking PCP, cigarettes was kind of like a train effect.
Yeah.
But we was gonna do a picture shoot with Mike Frost, and he was telling us how he was like, man, this is gonna be a cold album, man, it's gonna do good. And I thought he was hype talking. Yeah. And I was like, come here, you don't gotta do all that for me to take the picture, bro. And he's like, twin, dog, you bipolar. He said, you always do this. He said, you're gonna calm down, you're gonna apologize, you always do that. And I was in the back seat of the little color change. We was in the color change in 929 on some buttons, Lauren Hart's or whatever. And I calmed down in the back seat, and I felt this small to see them over there taking the pictures in the professional atmosphere with a professional photographer. And I got out the car and I said, bro, I apologize, man. He said, dog, you always do that. So I didn't have control over myself.
Yeah.
I didn't have control over myself. I didn't have control over my actions, because that PCP affected the way I dealt with people in professional atmosphere, and it has affected many business deals.
Yeah.
Many business deals. I called one distributor and accused him of messing over me and distributing CDs to different stores. Hey man, these are my stores. These are whoop to whoop. So that week, shipments of my CDs started arriving at my townhouse. Cause this man didn't play like that. Hey man, I do fair business. I've band totally fair with you, twin. This is a white businessman way to Minnesota who don't have to pick up the phone after business hours.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I knew that drugs and business don't mix, because you can mess up something overnight like this. I see it happening in the music industry all the time. Overnight, you can mess up a gift that God gave you and a platform that God gave you overnight.
Man, let me ask you this. It's things that I've done, You know what I'm saying? Like, man, there's people that I robbed when I was young that I had to come back. When I came home, I had to go apologize. When you was getting high, if there's anybody that you offended, you know what I'm saying? Out of everybody, who would you say you hurt the most?
My mom. I hurt my mom the most because, dear mama, it's like my mom went through so many roller coaster rides with us. She already got a twin son in prison on a 45-year sentence. You know, and now she got a son who has a rap career, but she knows she raised me in church, and she knows she raised me to do the right thing. But when she saw that it was affecting my livelihood, because I've always been upkept, you know, and you know, I love fashion, I love clothes. She said that I was always arrogant and egotistical when I was on wet. Yeah. She said you naturally humble, but when it started affecting my mom, it was a hurting thing because she saw greatness in me, and it affected my mom and my daughter. Yeah. My daughter, I love my daughter dearly, and one day I got out of prison and my daughter said, "Dad, if you smoke that again, I don't want to talk to you," because she had my DNA, and I thank God for it because I don't have to worry about no man ever taking advantage of her. Yeah. So one day I called her and I was trying to bring her some money, and I'm gonna tell all the viewers, money can't buy your kids respect. Money can't buy, material things can't make them love you. When I was called her high and told her I was gonna bring her a couple of $100, she didn't want the money, and she said, matter of fact, quit calling my phone. And that was one of the most hurting things that PCP has ever done in my life. You know what I mean? My mom and my daughter. And you got in the old school, he said, "Twin, consider the ant." He was in the military, ex-military, he talked loud. He said, "Consider the ant, twin." I said, "What you mean, OG?" He said, "If the queen is happy, then the rest of the everything in the ant farm is happy. Yeah. If you stick your hand in a bee nest and grab the queen, all the other bees gonna latch on." Yeah. So your mama, your sisters, your daughters, those are the things that's supposed to be secure. We're supposed to secure them. So when my daughter lost my security, it hurt her. Yeah. So that's what PCP done.
Man, you ended up going to jail.
I did.
Prison, right?
Yeah, I went to prison. I done a turnaround. You know, one of the inmates in there who you know, he was cool, but he was like, "Twin, you got 2 years, bro. Don't mention that to nobody. You know, just tell them you just passed it through, because people who got, you know, like my boy from G-Town showed me his ID card and said 3L. Yeah, and it was like 3 life sentences. So I done a turnaround. Yeah.
But what was your experience in that, man?
Being a rapper, you know, being a known name in prison, in Harris County Jail, it was kind of hard when you hear youngsters saying "unk" or they calling you school. That's when you realize you are out of place. And one youngster said, man, he was the same. He had a capital murder, and I used to like just kind of mentor him because I couldn't fathom being his age, headed for the time that he was headed for. And he was humble, but at times flamboyant. Yeah. But this same youngster who I used to give my 100 buns and shit to, you know, I like Zuzus and wham-whams. And one day he was listening to Street Flavor, and we over here having Bible study, and he tell us we too loud. So I was like, okay, little bro. I was like, I'll go watch the Street Flavor. And I went and talked to his big homie out of respect, because his big homie knew his dad. And his dad had already told him, man, he told his dad, man, that was 50 feet, he said, man, that's a good dude, man, you know, listen to him. So this same young dude with capital murder, one day we had a positive conversation, and me and my homeboy Bubba from the South Side, we talking about jobs and things of this nature. He's like, man, they don't want no job, man. That's, you know what I'm saying, that's weak shit, man. I'm finna get on my. I said, I don't want to hear nothing from no loser conversations. And the youngster walked to me and told me I'd slap the shit out of you. And so when he said that, he's a fairly big youngster. I said, man, come on, let's get this out the way, you know, because I feel like it was edging up. Yeah. And when the youngster hit me, man, like the cartoon, the youngster hit me with a bad George Foreman, man. and I've seen the side of my face do like this. And only thing in my mind was cement feet and don't let this else drop you in front of everybody. You 50-50 twin.
Yeah.
So when before the next one come, I did a Garden City Cage. You know, I was like, ugh. And he didn't know I made, you know, I said, ugh. And I, boom. And I rocked his mic. And they were like, twin, keep going, keep going. But those, in Harris County, I had probably about 4 or 5 fights. But now I'm detoxing. I'm working out, and this fight is becoming therapy. But when I got to prison where people are trying to go home, one of my blood partners, I'm Neutron, but one of my blood partners, he was like, I didn't got my weight up coming from the county, and I had like a little demeanor when I walked in the door, and one of my partners who done time before said, twin, check that shit at the door, bro. Yeah. And I carry that still to this day. When you walk in somebody's establishment, when you come in Michael's barbershop, when you go into somebody's facility, check your energy at the door because you can bring your energy in there. So I learned a lot about energy in the prison system because they operate on politics. What you do can affect the whole dorm or affect the whole unit. Yeah. And I learned a lot about that. You know what I mean? Check your energy when you walk in there, you know?
Man, you know, I want to touch on the low points of prison because it's a lot of people that's gonna watch this interview, especially a bunch of kids, right? Mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people don't know, man, but you know one of the things that keep me out of prison, bro, I'm 17 years old, man, I go to prison. In the county, I'm on the 7th floor. It's called the Gladiator floor. I go there, man, every day we rocking and rolling, we put our heads on the table. Tell them about Slap a Lot, man. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
officers ain't Slap a Lot. They just
bro, it was people dying in Harris County.
In Harris County, right? The worst jails.
So they put me on the 7th floor. I got all these aggravated robberies. Yeah. And because of my jacket, they sent me to a max unit. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I go through Gaza. I don't even stay there long. They shoot me to.
I went to Gaza.
They shoot me to McConnell. Yeah. Bro, my first day there was a real experience, bro. You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say my first day, my second day. So I done got there, you know what I'm saying? I done got situated, got in my bunk, everything. 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, they call child. I'm going to child for the first time. You know what I'm saying? I'm really scared, bro, because I'm a kid, man. I ain't big. I'm a kid, bro. I'm here with all these grown people, man. I ain't never experienced this before. I ain't trying to be hard, bro. Like, man, this shit is different.
And
you know what I'm saying?
You got guys now. Mind you, got guys now that look like gladiators.
Yeah, for real.
I'm talking about cutting every part of their body. I'm talking about, and I'm talking about, you got some that have a little compassion. You got some who ain't going home
and don't care.
Who talking about whatever you talking about. And so he a teenager in this type of environment.
So I go. We going to child at this time. It's Hugh Stone versus TS. Hugh Stone wasn't even established yet. They was trying to get themselves established. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we going to child, bro. It's in front of me is an older black dude. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And then it's another black dude in front of him, and then it's a Mexican in front of him, bro. So I'm standing waiting on them to roll the door so we can go out for child. Another Mexican come all the way from behind the line and stab him like 20-something times, bro. Wow. Everybody else just start going back to their cell, bro. I'm so scared and traumatized, bro. I'm just looking, because this nigga just bleeding out, bro. I'm just standing there looking, bro. And the old school grabbed me and say, come on, youngster. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I went back to my cell and I was like, shit, what have I got myself into? Wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's other different events, you know what I'm saying? Being in lockup for like almost a year and a half, getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that happened that made me say, nah, I ain't with it no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What was that thing for you that really made it click? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, this ain't it.
Man, one day I was walking down the bowling alley, and it was me, Lil Ron from Swisher House, and Lumpy from Acres Home, and the warden say we was talking loud, and see, I structure, like I say once again, check your engine structure. The warden say, you, give me your ID, and I threw my ID because I knew. At this point, it was state jail. I was in state jail, so I knew when I was going home. That's why I say, where you was at, gladiator action over here. But we cursing each other out on the way there, and I told the warden, I said, you a hoe and your wife know it, because I seen his ring was off. Yeah. And we was cursing each other out, and the Holy Spirit told me to humble myself. So I said, I apologize. So he said, I'm trying to talk to you. You fucking listen. And when it was a white man. He said, you're right. I did wake up on the wrong side of the bed. And he let me go back to my cell. And he was like, don't tell nobody. You know, we had this conversation. But then a black captain came and sat on the desk, and he had on boots and he had gray hair, you know. And he swung his leg. He said, youngster. He said, I don't know what you said to that man, but he said, they will beat your ass and hide you until you heal, and your family won't be able to see you. You know, and pardon my language, but that's what he told me. But the one thing that made me open my eyes is when I would see the guards walking down the bowling alley with swords that they done found in people's cells. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or when I seen that young brother get dumped on his head and his blood gush out like Kool-Aid. But you know, it's like it's so many things that I saw. And I asked one youngster, I was like, man, how long you gonna be here? And he was like 15 years. And I said, my fault for asking you that because I had a small number. He said, no, this is the life I chose.
Yeah.
He said, I'll probably be back. That's when I knew the jail wasn't for me, because you got some people that in this world, they take pictures on social media, and I call it glamour shots. They take pictures, they flash their money, they got their captions. It looked good, young brothers. It looked good. But when I got to jail and I saw brothers doing this me out there in that world, and they showing their pictures, I realized they planned this.
Yeah, that's all they.
It was people
they set it up.
It was people in that with Versace glasses on, Mike, and grills. And I'm like, how he knew to have glasses that change lens when you walk in the room? He didn't. That ain't something he wear every day.
Yeah.
He went and got those Versaces because he obviously bonded out and finna turn himself in, and went and got him a grill and said, I want to look good on the unit for the females that work here. Or I want to take these pictures so I can show people what I'm doing in the world. It's people out here right now that take pictures on Instagram and IG, so when they get to the unit, because they know where they headed, they can flash and say, this is what I'm doing in the world. But to my brothers in there, you got some grown men in there who had businesses, who had family. These are the men that changed my life. In one circumstance, it could be drunk driving. It could be drunk driving. They third DWI, like an old school Hispanic guy now. Had his own business, but got pulled over driving drunk 25 years for a brewski, for a Modelo, for a Bud Light. And then you got people in there who was on a drug and flashed out and shot somebody. But when they woke up, they said, where am I? You know what I'm saying? And then you got youngsters like my nephew Kobe, who was 17, and they say he committed a murder. Signed for 25 years. When I told my brother Craig, hey bro, Kobe on the IG with some guns or something, he said, man, his mom told him to take that down. You know what I'm saying? That's all. But see, when you ain't paying attention to your kids, you don't know what they doing out there in the world, man. You know what I'm saying?
Let's talk about it.
And so on the way here, when I was doing some research, and I saw about social disorders and biological, you know, these things that determine who we are and who we're gonna be. In one of the readings, it was basically saying kids' psychological mind frame is patterned by their parents.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your brain stops developing. It starts to develop at age 25. You know what I'm saying? Like you create all these different personalities from your upbringing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so what I'm saying is, kids are now being raised by social media. It's the instant effect. Man, if you, I had one friend to say his grandfather doing holiday events, make everybody leave their phone on the counter.
Yeah.
Because this is all you see. Could you imagine the effect of people's head being down so much?
Man,
they're not tuned into reality.
Man, you know, one of the things that I hate to see is when them dudes be in jail. Mm-hmm. And they got phones and they cooking and making TikToks, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because younger dudes see it and they think that's what jail is. They don't realize, like, bro, it's not like that, man. Yeah. Not all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man.
And for the ones that's doing it like that, they ain't got nothing to lose. The majority of the people in jail with small times are trying to come home, man. You know what I'm saying?
And I can say that, like my brother used to tell me, even as a grown ass man, he would say, "Bro, you throwing rocks at the penitentiary. You throwing rocks at the penitentiary." He said, "When the Muslim brother come in your cell, ask him what's knowledge of self, because you don't know who you are."
Yeah.
Okay, you got brothers who doing football numbers, and then you got brothers who know they're going home. These are the ones in there that's bouncing off the wall, smoking Tunchi. And then you got these young dudes in there playing games, playing, little gay games. And then they looking up to dudes who ain't going home. And then they get out with tattoos, with their mama money. So they creating this persona. So when they get out, I want to look like this. Or I'm finna be tatted up. Or they brushing their hair. And one rehab counselor, he said, "Y'all waved up, man. Y'all swole up, man. But what your insides look like?" You know what I'm saying? And so you always got that old school who laid back, who sit behind this book and watch everything that's going on, because he was their age before. He can tell you who gonna crash, and he can tell you who gonna change when they get out. He can tell you who gonna be back, because he got nothing but time and he's seen number of revolving doors. I'm gonna tell you about, it's something in Jim Crow 2020 edition book. It's called A Second Class Citizen. And it's something called invisible prisons. Invisible prisons are leg monitors, probation, and parole. In the inner city, you have something that's called zero tolerance areas, where they don't need a probable cause to pull you over. They don't need a probable cause to jump out. They don't need a probable cause to profile. And you got your liquor stores in these same areas. And then you got drugs being sold in these same areas. So in these same areas, you got a percentage. They say in every classroom, 1/3 of each kid in there will go to jail, but 75% of them are black young brothers. So in these invisible prisons,
1/3 will go to jail or be on some type of community supervision.
Yes, sir. And so when you see them youngsters, I've seen a lot of them get out on bond, and they proud of ankle monitor. They taking pictures. Look like a garage door open on their leg. But when they go to jail, if they have a short stint, they're gonna get out flamboyant, because they feel like, I know what prison like and I can do this again.
Yeah.
I got stripes. If they get on parole, if they not focused, they're gonna end up going back on a larger sentence. And they either gonna do the whole time and miss significant times of their life, or they're gonna get out on parole again. These are the invisible prisons that are set up for inner city youth. And the statistics has changed. It's not just black brothers going in.
Yeah.
This is affecting all ethnicities.
And man, I wanted to talk about that because, it's a lot of people that don't know me. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that don't, they just see who I am now and don't realize who I used to be, man.
Right,
and I say that because it's a lot of things that I used to subscribe to, man.
Wow.
As far as like the beliefs in the streets and, you know what I'm saying?
The code, street code.
Yeah, man. Like, I don't subscribe to none of that because I realize how detrimental it is to our kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine living in a world where you really can't, as a kid, you try to figure out who you are, but you have people pulling you from all different type of ways trying to give you an identity. You know what I'm saying? And you eventually subscribe to the codes of the street. And some of our kids believe it so much. Man, it's a dude, man, that he's a podcaster or whatever, man. He a grown man, and I'm hearing him say, "Man, I'm for real about this street shit. I'll die by it."
Yeah.
And I looked at him, and I'm like, "Kenfo, you willing to die behind a mirage?" Because guess what?
Wow.
This is what I was taught. There is no honor amongst thieves. Chucky Trill, rest in peace, Chucky Trill. He got a song that did numbers, millions.
The streets don't love the song.
The streets don't. We know this.
I was in that video.
Yeah, we know this. So why would we still try to, push this narrative on our kids? Like, bruh, when I was coming up, this shit here different, bro. When I was coming up,
I know where you're going with it.
I knew. I swear to God, bro. Every day, like I wore white boxers and everything, man, because I knew I was gonna go to jail.
Wow.
I knew I was gonna go to jail. I done been shot at. I done shot people. I done did all of that. That come with the streets, bro. When the laws were looking for me on DeSoto was a white neighborhood. We came and we took that over, bro. The laws shut down DeSoto for months looking for me, right?
DeSoto had. When I tell you DeSoto they might as well should have built a federal compound on DeSoto.
Bro, look,
It was
all because
it
of
was
me.
more so. I call it DeSoto D block for
Bro,
real.
that was all because of me.
I
The
can't
laws
imagine.
were looking for me, bro.
I can't imagine.
And guess what? I found out that even the real niggas ain't real niggas.
Wow.
Cause guess what? They were snitching. So when I got to prison, I sat back and I had time to reflect and really just think about it. Robbing, you getting robbed, you getting shot, you going to jail, a nigga telling on you, the broads playing on you. All of that is part of the game.
It's part of it, man. We had a saying on the block: "Go to jail, lose your gal." The little dip that you call yourself having love, puppy love with, man. She on to the next one. You know what I mean? And then it's like one thing about jail, it's like out of sight, out of mind. You got people that's gonna rock with you, but as time goes by, you know what I'm saying, they gonna have stuff they gotta do too. And one thing I can say is, bro, you know what I'm saying, he was, people say it's different from looking sharks. Kobe Bryant said it's different from looking at sharks on TV and swimming with them. He swam with the sharks. Like I say, I had a Robert De Niro mind frame. I was more so business, and I dapped in the streets. The things that I done, I swear God took from my memory. He'll tell you, I'm more so of a squabbler. I'll pistol whip, I'll beat you with a jack. Done it before. So when somebody tried to rob me and my brother. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's different levels to this. He was swimming with the sharks. You know what I'm saying? And I admit I was swimming around them. But it's different levels, man. And when God see you through that type of atmosphere and those type of situations, man,
and that's why
epiphany is gonna happen.
And that's why I'm speaking on it, man, because like, bro, I seen it firsthand, and I'm like, man, bro, if this is what comes with the streets, why niggas ain't telling niggas this the truth? You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, they not telling you like, hey man, somebody's gonna snitch on you. They telling you, hey man, nah man, you niggas don't snitch. And come on, man. If people really knew the truth about, hey, you can die, you can go to jail. This is all what come with the streets.
Yeah.
Why? So that's why I hate the fact that a lot of people be trying to push this narrative, man. And a lot of people that's pushing this street nigga narrative, like, they not even really like that. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
They not like that, man. It's a mirage, and they misleading our kids. You know what I'm saying? That ain't just for the niggas. That's for the females too.
The females doing this strip club rapping, and then even the artists. One thing I can say is when my brother Mike gave me his testimony, I remember it clear as day. And I was telling my driver, about how his testimony changed my life. And I think my brother, he was on stage, and I think a detective called him off the stage like this. He ain't got to tell it. The detective called him off the stage. You know what I'm saying? And the feeling of being in your essence, and you finna perform, and the detective there, man, they got shit to do.
Team, the man.
Call him off the stage. And man, when bro was facing his time, he ain't got to tell me, but I knew he was looking at some football numbers. You know what I'm saying? Because of the significance of his situation. And when he prayed to God and say, God, I want to give you everything. When my brother told you, say, God, even my album, everything. This man had spent $80,000 on production, man. Check him out. Had Jim Jones on the album. Check him out, man. I know Mike, man. They ran through racks on top of racks on top of racks. So when he said, God, even my album, he said that too. When I watched my brother humble himself and go to barber school, when my brother said, hey twin, man, I'm working for I think BFI, trash company, on back of trucks.
Yeah.
His humility, man. This man was riding behind the trash dumpster. You know what I'm saying? How low can your humility get? Jumping off in the sun, throwing these things, I gotta keep up with the truck. And then I saw him manifest, you know what I'm saying, getting different type of business. Went from the barber school to the barber shop to owning a barber shop. And then when we was meeting one day, bro, it was certain areas that my brother wouldn't come to. And his testimony is what woke me up. I was in rehab, and the Holy Spirit told me it's more to life than being sober. I realized, man, even though I'm drug free, it ain't about making up for lost time. But what is your mind frame like? Because there's a bunch of temptation out here. That's just like you say, people leading these youth, they glorifying the violence, but they ain't telling them what come with it. Man, we are partakers. We're partakers of I'm gonna say it like this. We're partakers of God's divine nature.
And look, let me say this too, man, because a lot of people probably don't understand, but like, I'm big on God. We both are.
Yeah.
Man, we done sat on the phone and in person and talk hours and just poured into each other, man. You know, and I feel like I tell you in private, I tell you publicly. You know, I appreciate the accolades that you give me, but you just like me, man.
Indeed, bro.
God got big things He needs you to do, because it's people that you can touch that other people can't touch.
And I want to talk about these invisible lines of obedience. I got booked for a show in Dallas, Texas last week, and while being booked for the show, my good friend, we tend to have spiritual conversations too, uplifting, inspiration. And while being booked for the show, I was invited to the podcast, Real Life Street Stars, a significant podcast known globally. And while talking, a lady that worked for a juvenile facility in Fort Worth asked me to come talk to the youth. So I was like, Lord, what am I going to say to them? And I was asking for advice. I went by my good friend Charlie's mom's house, and she's of Nigerian ethnicity. And so she was like, just be yourself. They can relate to that. And you know, and so I prayed and I asked God, what should I say to them? Yeah. So God gave me a revelation. He said, I want you to speak on I Don't Get Tired. So I read Kevin Gates lyrics to him of the song I Don't Get Tired. And then I told them, I said, man, when y'all be riding now, I know when we was in prison, when we ride too long, we'd be like, bro, get you some rest.
Yeah.
So then I went to the scripture where God spoke on, I will make your yoke easy, I will give you rest, in Matthew chapter 11. So I gave them a remedy. These youngsters don't have the remedy, the spiritual remedy, so they go on the social media saying, this is what's gonna make me significant. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I tell anybody, man, like I tell my nephew when I'm talking to him, squares are doing the hiring and firing right now.
Come on, man. Bro, I learned that and look, bro, while I'm in prison, as a kid, see, I thought dudes that went to work, all that was lame. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, man, everybody cool.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm in there with everybody cool. Yeah. And one day I came out to the day room, man. I came out my cell and I'm looking at everybody and they running it and chopping it up.
Yeah.
I said, man, all the squares out there having money and all the supposed to be real niggas, we in here.
And then not just that, when the COs used to walk by the cell, man, it was some COs that was cool, man, cool breeze. And you know, being that I'm incarcerated, when you know, it's like when you got this routine where they call you out your cell and you do in and outs, and then you can go down and look at TV in their room, or you can stay in your cell. And I look at when they wake you up and you know, SSI, you got to push the room, you got to go work the fields, and you got these things that you can and can't do. I learned that if you can't be civilized enough to operate in a world structure where it's a big world. Like somebody told me when I was tripping out, they say, twin, you finna go home. I said, bro, let them have this shit.
Yeah.
Let them have this prison. Twin, you finna go home. If you can't operate in this society and be civilized, and now you gonna operate under somebody's structure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And when I would see them COs, and I say, man, you know what, at this point, I wish I was in his pants walking through here doing count or something.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I know, he work at a jailhouse. This is a chance of him going.
Yeah.
But like my bro say, man, the squares are doing the hiring and firing. Those brothers that dedicate them lives to college and said, I'm gonna sacrifice all this glamour and glitter that I see that look live. Cause I ain't gonna lie, man, we call Gut Bank the Bermuda Triangle. Mm-hmm. It's so many people that came to Gut Bank that came to hang out because they saw us out there and now they'll tell their age, jaywalking and wearing these designer clothes. Mike used to walk around fly, we walked around fly, that's why I called it Hollywood. You know, and then so boom, when these young brothers used to come chill, I promise 75% of them end up hustling or fall in love with a chick over there, or end up selling some type of drug and end up making it through that cycle, man. That Bermuda Triangle, man. They disappear from their mama. I'm talking about young partners used to come through that looking like puppies, man, with their shirts tucked in. They got their nickname from that block. They got their tattoos probably on that block. You know what I'm saying? And things of this nature. So one thing I can say is, when I went to one of my homeboys' house, his name is Craig. We call him Pistol. We used to freestyle at Craig's house. Me, Broderick, Chris Groove, Mako Faniel, he got a doctor's degree. He used to be there. When I went to Pistol's house, he had a big two-story. I said, man, when you do this? He said, oh man, it took me about 20 years. I realized that glory don't come overnight.
Come on, man.
Neither does a home. He said, it took me 20 years, but in that house he had a theater system. He said, come upstairs, let me show you something. He showed me his theater system. In the backyard, he got his cave, his pit bulls, he got his DJ booth set up. And it looked like an overnight thing. But when he said it took me 20 years, I realized while I was out there capping and rapping, this man was working a 9 to 5, saying, I'll do a 401k, pension, retirement plan, a rabbit hole like my partner told me.
Yeah.
It's people out there that was doing that. While we thought the streets was live.
That's why I'm
gonna say like they said, I statement. I thought the streets was live.
Yeah, me too. You know, that's why I go hard now, because I feel like, man, I had wasted so much time. Man. I was telling one of my clients the other day, I say, man, you know, at one time, man, a nigga just used to sit in the trap.
Wow. All
day long, bro. Around a bunch of dudes, and that was the day. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
That was the day, man, when I could have been working, establishing a business, going back to school so I could get better educated in what I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying?
Man, definitely so, man. One of my biggest influencers right now is the rapper Lil Troy, with the ballin' theme song, Wanna Be a Baller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get theatrical, but when you heard Wanna Be a Baller come down to Kappa, it was in the slabs and pop tron. This Wanna Be a Baller. But when I was going live one day on Instagram and talking about generational wealth, teaching our kids generational wealth, teaching them about owning businesses, cleaning up their credit, things of this nature. These are things that are taught in white families. I'm gonna be bold.
In other races.
Yeah. These are things that family. I can't just say white families because but these are in other races. Families sit down and teach their kids, hey, we're gonna open up your secure account, or we're gonna get you a JCPenney's card. Spend this amount, and if you spend this amount, pay it off on time. We're gonna help you build your credit. Black people, we talk, go get you a hustle. You got $100, $200, keep some money in your pocket. They talk, keep some money in the bank.
Yeah.
So, man, it's so many things that we wasn't taught. But I can say, take a village. There were times where God put that person in my life, Mr. Burton, who used to take me and brought you to the baseball fields, and we used to sell his Snickers and sell things to make money, and he's showing us business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we had junior achievement at church where they taught us how to make things from scratch. We were taught material costs. You know what I'm saying? Overhead, production, things of this nature. That's why when I started my Raffle Rock business, I knew shipping and receiving. I knew, material costs. I knew how to have a low material cost, bigger profit. These are things that kids aren't taught. They think that they gonna be the next rapper. They think that they gonna, be the next thing. And I get a lot of artists coming to me saying, man, check me out. Bro, I'm not finna throw you in that wolf's den.
Yeah.
Because it's different levels, I'm not finna throw you in that wolves den, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think you can go to college. But Lil Troy's one of my biggest influences right now because he's driving trucks, he got so many businesses, and he's a family man, you know what I mean?
And that's
I admire that.
Man, one of the biggest things that helped me change was my relationship, my commitment to God.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I know you hold the same value. Man, how important is your religion, or your relationship with God to you?
My relationship is very important, and it's like I was talking to Lil Mario from Swiss House earlier, and we was talking about how change ain't what's up to a lot of people, but you got people who don't know how to find that change. I've seen a lot of people who can't go fill out an application. I did. You know what I'm saying? And I just, God's telling me to humble myself. I went and got a job, man, and it was structured. It was structured for me, and it felt so good. I feel rich. You know what I'm saying? And it's so many people that can't do that, man. And Luke chapter 19, verse 42, when Jesus was saying, if you only knew on this day the things that connect to your peace, yet you've been blinded. People are blinded by what they seeing on social media, man. Yeah. People are blinded by what they think is real. When I learned about prop money, I was an adult. And the whole while, the videos I've been watching, so many rappers, I'm talking about got prop money in the video. And by the time you meet them in person, they done actually got the real money off of you believing that they prop money was real.
Yeah.
I didn't know about props and all that. I didn't know you could rent a Rolls Royce for $1,000 a day and make your video larger than life and say this mine. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that shit. They sold me a wood nickel.
Yeah.
Like Michael Warren say. But then when I learned that we got the master key and you got people who are put in position to put you to your next level, it ain't no expiration date on your greatness.
Yeah.
I Googled millionaires after 40. You know how many people millionaires after 40?
A bunch of them.
A bunch of them. It ain't no expiration date on greatness. You know what I'm saying? And so I realized that my spirituality is what matters most, because I've seen rich fools.
Yeah.
I've seen some rich fools, man. I've seen some people as healthy as ever. They say health over wealth. You can walk through this business like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but if your inside's messed up, it don't mean no good, man.
Man, when you was talking about me, getting a job and, at that time, man, I ain't stopped rapping because my money was messed up, man. I stopped rapping because I wanted to do something different. God was showing me something different. I knew I was bigger than what I was doing to myself, And bro, I'm one day I'm at work, bro, and I'm throwing the trash can.
Yo.
Somebody pulled up and said, "Hey man, ain't you Money Green?"
Wow.
And I ain't gonna lie.
I think you had the cover with the green stab with the dunk on it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
At that time, I felt so humiliated, bro.
Yeah.
Because my whole identity was in Money Green. Remember I was telling you that?
Yeah.
And that's what God had to strip me of that identity and bring me back to Mike. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why now it don't matter what nobody say. I know who I am. I'm sure of myself. I ain't trying to be something I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it feels so good. I feel so peaceful, accomplishing a task that I accomplished right now. When the music industry slowed down for me, is because I wasn't paying attention to the innovation, and people kept telling me that it's gonna go digital, like CDs and things of this nature.
Yeah.
I'm so used to getting checks from distributors or whatever, but if you don't keep up with I'm not gonna say keep up with what's relevant, but if you don't stay into tune to things, see, like I heard one of my spiritual advisors say, the things that work for you back then, you might not have that same favor.
Come on.
God gonna give you favor, as a 20-year-old, because we understand we still learning. But that same favor is not gonna apply to you when you 40 and you 50. That's why you see old fools riding around the bike, and they can tell you all the war stories and give you all the type of, but they telling you this shit on a bike, holding a 40.
Mm-hmm.
He can use a mule, he can use a donkey, he can make the words of a fool wise. But look where they coming from. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look how it's coming. So I'm at the point in my life where I don't care about the glitter and the gold, but I'm not gonna wait for my heaven to have my heaven on earth either. Yeah. People don't understand the definition of eternal salvation. Eternal salvation it's not heaven. It's not that place they call heaven. Eternal salvation is a eternal connection to God's divine nature.
Right.
No matter how much money you got, no matter where you at, you still gonna have that peace. You still gonna have that connection. You're gonna have that connection. You're gonna have the connection. And I want to use an example. One of my brothers said that a guy asked him, "How's it over in Africa?" You know what I'm saying? And he thought it was like a certain type of way. He said, "Nah, man, Africa is beautiful. Africa is beautiful. Parts of Africa is beautiful." You know what I'm saying? You always get this jungle type of vision, and see that when I say that, I think about people when they have a connection to God's divine nature. You got a peaceful demeanor. You got people think, oh man, you dressed down like he walking. You know what I'm saying? Or he may have on a collar shirt, or he just plain Jane. That person is it's like that beautiful place in Africa that I'm talking about. But his outer appearance got you thinking of that jungle part of Africa that people he's only associated with lions and tigers and stuff.
Yeah.
Now this person is really at peace with themselves, man. And that's the main thing. You know, when you got to be connected to the vine. I done tried everything else, and I know in so many situations, God delivered me when I was insane. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the psych wards, and this chick standing over me saying, "Hey, Michael." I'm like, man, who is Michael? Man, this girl started calling me Michael. She thought it out for real. His name Michael. One of my favorite archangels is Michael, but she kept calling me Michael. I'm at the table. She said, "Hey, Michael, I'm in Long Beach, California." And I walked up to the counter. I said, "Man, look, man." I said, "Man, I'm a famous rapper out of Houston, man. I need to get out of here." And he said, "Look me up on Google." He said, "This dude is famous." He said, "I can't let you out." He said, "A family member got to call and confirm, and you got to have a Greyhound or flight out of here." I'm finna tell y'all a testimony. My mom booked me a Greyhound ticket, and she called and confirmed, "This is my son. There's nothing wrong with him." I had got into a situation in California. I was staying in Palos Verdes, and I was in the mountaintops, and I was detoxing. And my chick I was dating, she was from England, and she used to read tarot cards and stuff. And one day, man, I promise, man, I was perfectly normal. I wasn't smoking no dip or nothing. I said, "I feel like there's evil spirits in this house. They make me feel like depressed and suicidal." She said, "We need to get you to the hospital." And when I got to the hospital, she told them that, and I told her and I ended up in a Frankenstein chair. Security sat by my door all night, and she sat there with me. But the next morning they put me in a Frankenstein chair. I'm like, "Where y'all taking me?" They said, "You going to Long Beach Psych Ward, 5150." I'm like, "Huh?" And they strapped me down, and they said, "You property of 5150." And my name 5050. I'm gonna tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like when the enemy took the devil on the mountain and he told Jesus, "I give you the things of this world."
Yeah.
We stayed in a 3-story house on the ocean, and I said that same thought. So now I'm like, man, I'm in this psych ward for like 3 or 4 days. And when I called my T, she bought me a Greyhound ticket. I know time was of an essence. She bought my Greyhound ticket, but I also called my brother and said, "Bro, I don't feel like riding Greyhound for 3 days. Can you give me a ticket?" My brother told me he was gonna book my ticket, so I trusted him. He said, "Okay, just go to the airport, it's done." So I didn't catch the Greyhound when the cab let me out. I went to Long Beach Airport. They said they didn't have a flight going to Houston. So now I'm carrying my luggage, and I gotta find an airport, and I don't have funds on me. I just got these designer clothes. I'm looking like money. I got diamonds in my mouth, and I'm in Long Beach. I don't know if I'm on Crip territory, blood territory. And I saw a guy. I'm gonna tell y'all the divine nature of God. I called my brother and said, "Bro, I need you to wire me $100 to go to catch a taxi to LAX, man. I'm in Long Beach, man. I don't know where I'm at. I got on these PlayStation Air Forces with a blue Rockwell shirt, blue diamonds, and I'm telling you, I'm diamond down." And I'm in line getting the money, and my brother sent me 100, he sent me 40. And I saw a brother, he turned around, he said, "You're not from here, cuz." I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "Cause I very seldom see people with diamonds like that, cuz." And I'm like, man, I don't know where I'm at. So boom, I walked out of Walmart and went to the bus stop. And while I'm at the bus stop, the Holy Spirit said, "Hey, that's that dude you saw at Walmart. Run up to the red light and ask him for a ride." I ran to the red light, flagged down, and dude pulled over. He's like, "What's up, cuz?" And I was like, "Hey, man, I want to pay you to take me to Walmart. How much you charge?" He said, "Just buy me a 40, cuz." And I walked to the store, and I came out with the 40 and gave him the rest of the change. Yeah. And now all I got is change in quarters. So he take us to LAX, the divine nature of God. When I get out his car, he obviously had smoked some pills because the German shepherds walked up to the car as soon as I walked out. And I'm like, man, I got this man in an uncomfortable situation at the LAX airport, Los Angeles. So now I'm calling my brother. I walked up to the counter, "Ma'am, I got a flight. Here's my ID." "Sir, you don't have any flights here." The divine nature of God. So now I'm steady calling my brother. And his stepdaughter's like, "Well, they just went to the store, and I'm gonna tell them you call when you come back." I'm like, "Brittany, I'm running out of quarters." They tell them it's serious, urgent. So I get down to a few quarters left, and my brother, he done sips Patron, and he kind of winded down like, "Bro, this is not going through." He said, "Okay, man, I'm gonna have to just I'm gonna make it to the airport before they close." So he did. So now I'm feeling defeated. I done threw my luggage away and kept all my important papers. And I'm in LAX airport, sitting like I'm sitting right now. And I always say Lord's Prayer when I'm in a time of discomfort. So I walk outside, and some say throw away your sight wars papers so they won't know, you know what I'm saying, take you back. So I throw away the papers, and I'm out and I'm looking at the sign that say pedestrian walk. No pedestrians walking this way. So I say, I'm finna be homeless downtown. And I think about the Kevin Hart story when he was homeless downtown and met a comedian and they introduced him, and you know, he was, but okay, so boom. While I'm at the airport, I see somebody mean mugging me. The Holy Spirit said, get up and walk this way. I see somebody mean mugging. And they looking at me and I'm like, nah, ain't the time for this. I'm already stranded, boy, you know, finna be stranded in LA.
Yeah.
And man, they got closer and closer, and they looking like this, and it was Mike Jones. I said, Mike, man, me and my lady friend, we had a situation, man, I'm stranded, man. He was like, say that's one out. He was like, say no more. And he had a Louis suitcase and all this. And the lady said, Mr. Jones, you always late missing, you know, taking your flights. He go, another Mike. The girl, the psych ward, Mike, you Mike, he goes, another Mike. So boom, she said, Mr. Jones, you're always late to the, you know, shooting your videos and whatnot. He said, hold on. He said, this is an important guy from Houston. When God show you favor, the person behind the counter don't matter. He said, this is an important person from Houston, and he's a famous rapper. I need him on the next flight out of here. She said, well, we got a first class going, you know, and it'll be here in like 15 minutes. She said, well, how much is it? She said, it'll be $650. He went in his Louis wallet and sell a swipe. Now the lady behind the counter that made me feel this small, and you know, she was like, okay, he is important. He said that he was an important guy. So she said, sir, we'll have security escort you up. I flew first class back to Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I'm telling you, when you connected to the vine,
he always gonna
his favor gonna make a way.
Always.
His favor gonna make a way. And you know, I flew back first class, and my brother was parked out there waiting on me. But I'm speaking on staying attached to the vine.
Man, look, before we get out of here, man, I want to publicly give you your flowers.
Thank you so much.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, we brothers, man. You know, when I first came home and y'all was rapping, y'all was the biggest thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't have to take me to the studio. I got out on a Wednesday, Friday. I was in the studio with you, man. I recorded my first song in the studio. And from that first song, I started getting booked shows, started talking about deals, you know what I'm saying? Ended up getting the situation, all of that type of stuff, man. All because of the opportunity you gave me, man.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that, man. You know, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you coming to sit down and talk with me.
It's an honor. It's an honor.
Before we leave, man, is there anything you want to say to the people, man?
Man, I want to say that time is not by our side. We live in a microwave era where everything is sped up, and it's cliche and it's plastic. And my father, when he got out of prison, would always say, man, when you gonna come see me? When you gonna come see me? Cool in a deep freezer. And I procrastinated, but I buried my father yesterday, and I didn't get a chance to go see him. He died of cancer. So if you have a loved one, you know, and these kids, man, spend time with them, man. You know, time is not by our side. God is eternal, but that time, you know, like an old lady told me, she said, spell love, T-I-M-E. You know, that time is, it's a time. Spend time with your family, man. We spend so much time texting on social media. We walk by each other every day. But how often do you ask your wife or ask your kids, how was your day? Really, really listen to them. And they ain't a burden to you when you're hearing them out. If they become absent in your life, you will have a void that you can't explain when you can't ask them, how was your day? So I say, spend time, man. Like me and my brother here, it's a royal card. You know what I'm saying? And it's my brother. It's my brother. We kept so many things out this interview.
A lot,
but for the sake of maturity.
It's coming back though. You know what I'm saying?
You know, we don't replay the tape. We only move forward because we, you know, they say when you hold on to old memories, that means you not procreating. You know what I'm saying? Stay procreating, man, because God would never leave or forsake you. And it was something that you said on the phone earlier. You was talking about. You say I believe in a God that where the storehouse is overflowing.
Yeah. I don't believe in no God where there's a lack. You know what I'm saying? I tell people that all the time, man. Like, a lot of people, especially a lot of Christians, man, they complain about what they don't have.
So,
you know, how can you operate in lack when the God you serve have everything?
Man, it's evident, man. It's evident because I'm here. Because like I say, yesterday I was at the funeral, and I was in my funk. But God told me no, you don't have time. We can't reschedule this. You know what I'm saying? And I got up and I came, man, and then here we are.
And I appreciate that.
Time machine, man.
Man, y'all like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, man.
Google 50/50 Twin, man.
Google 50/50
Google
Twin.
50/50 Twin. I'm a pioneer of the Houston rap industry, and I have many great things coming. I have my book, my motivational book, Miracle on 50/50 Street. I have my album that's Michael Watts doing the introduction with Live Ola, Lil Mario, different Houston artists on there, the 44 album, and for the most part, I want to do more. I'll be doing more speaking engagements. I spoke to the youth in Fort Worth. It was a wonderful thing. I want to do more speaking engagements because the youth are our future. They are our future, and we gotta stand on that. We gotta stand on that.
Man, so if somebody's watching this and they want to book you, you know what I'm saying, to come speak at their school, juvenile facility, or whatever, do you have an email or something?
You can email me at itshollywood50films@gmail.com. My Instagram is its5050twin. And you can reach me by those outlets, those social media, or my email. And I would love to come speak to the youth. I pray before I move, and I actually I pre-plan my speaking engagement, so I don't just give them something that's out the side of my thoughts. You know what I mean? Because that's detrimental that you not just give a person your leftover thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Be considerate of who you're talking to. Value their presence.
Yeah, once again.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, man.
My brother.
Always.